Moving on now, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian strongly rejected US President Donald Trump's criticism during his Gulf tour, declaring on state television that Iran will not bow to any bully. Pezeshkian said martyrdom is far sweeter than dying in bed, responding to Trump's remarks at the GCC summit in Riyadh, where Trump accused Iran of sponsoring terrorism and pursuing nuclear weapons. Trump reaffirmed his desire for a peaceful resolution, but warned that if Iran rejected his olive branch, the US would impose massive maximum pressure. He insisted Iran would not be allowed to acquire nuclear weapons, despite 4 rounds of indirect talks mediated by Oman. Tensions remain high. The Trump administration has continued to impose new sanctions on Iran. Yesterday, the US Treasury sanctioned 6 individuals and 12 entities linked to Iran's ballistic missile program for aiding in the domestic production of critical components. Listen in to the US president.
You're also working with us very closely with respect to negotiating a deal with Iran, which is the far friendlier course that you would see. I mean, we have 2 courses. There's only 2 courses. There aren't 3 or 4 or 5. There's 2. There's a friendly and a non-friendly, and the non-friendly is a violent course, and I don't want that.
We move over to North America now, where at least 21 people have been killed in a devastating traffic accident on a highway linking Mexico's Oaxaca and Puebla states. According to Puebla's Interior Minister, Samuel Eguiar, the crash involved 3 vehicles, including a cement truck, a bus and a transport van. Local reports say the truck attempted to overtake another vehicle, crossed into the opposite lane and collided head-on with the other 2 vehicles before plunging into a ravine and bursting into flames. Several others were injured and are currently receiving medical treatment. Investigations into this accident are underway. Now moving to the Indo-Pacific, where Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese arrived in Jakarta today for his first international visit since re-election, meeting Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto to discuss defence and global trade. Albanese said the visit highlights Canberra's commitment to strengthening ties with Indonesia, one of the world's largest democracies. Albanese emphasised boosting defence cooperation and investment, noting Australia's hosting of defence and maritime security training for Indonesian forces under last year's defence treaty. He also dismissed reports that Russia sought to base military aircraft in Indonesia's Papua province near Australia, stating Jakarta had rejected the request. The visit comes amid growing geopolitical tension, with Australia aiming to deepen ties in the region to counter Russian and Chinese influence. However, differences persist. Indonesia sees China and Russia as economic opportunities, contrasting with Canberra's more security-focused stance. Albanese also aims to expand trade with Southeast Asia to reduce reliance on China, though Indonesia remains a complex, protected market and competitor in commodity efforts. Well, that's all we have